2021 meeting of the Senior Commission. First item of business is to establish a quorum. I'll take roll. Commissioner O'Reilly present. Chair O'Reilly present. Vice Chair Nagao.
Present.
Commissioner Basigi. Absent. Commissioner Cohen.
Here.
Commissioner Torbeck. Not yet. Commissioner Yu. Not yet. And Commissioner Buchholz.
Here.
So we have 4 and we have a quorum. So let's proceed with our meeting. Bridget, could you put the flag up and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, yes, I can. And let me share the screen and we will get to the Pledge of Allegiance.
We'll all say it together. I'll
Okay.
start. I pledge allegiance
To
to the flag of the United States of America
America.
and to the republic
For which it
for which it stands,
one
nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all.
all.
Okay.
Thank you. Bridget, would you introduce our new staff?
Yes. Thank you, Chair O'Reilly. It is my great pleasure. Let me stop the share here. Is I wanted to introduce you all to Ian Goetz, who is our new marketing specialist. Ian, it's been what, 2 weeks now?
2 weeks? Yeah, I want to say so. 2 weeks. So 2,
Yeah.
3.
Is there a video of Ian?
Hi, I'm right here.
Oh,
I'm
there.
here.
Ian, do you want to tell them a little bit about you?
Yeah. My name's Ian. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. Went to school in Chicago. I moved to the West Coast when I took a job working for state parks in Big Sur. From there, I created the social media platform and some of their marketing principles, and then got the lovely job here working for Los Altos. And I'm excited to see what can be done and how I can help, So that's all.
Thank you, Ian.
Well,
Really happy
welcome
to
aboard.
have them.
Welcome aboard. We're pleased to have you.
Thank you.
I was just thinking about that when Bridget said she was going to introduce you and your marketing, and we do need that aspect as we open up the new center and reopen
Yes.
Grant Park, at least from the seniors aspect. So we're pleased to have you, and hoping you can help us with our plans for making that a successful unfolding. So welcome aboard. Thanks so much.
Pleasure to be aboard.
You're welcome to stay with us, or you have other things to do or other duties, but thank you. Bridget, do we have any requests for comments for items not on the agenda?
I haven't received any emails about specific public comments, but I do see a guest, Catherine Miller. If Catherine if she had a public comment, I wasn't sure. Doesn't appear so.
All right. So we'll move on
He
to
is on board.
Hello.
I see.
ZU. Good to see you, Z.
Hi. Kevin, before we begin, I have a question. So did you see my email? I asked if you wanted me to send Cherry the materials.
Yes, I did. I responded, but apparently you didn't get it. So
Yeah, no, I did not get it. So I haven't
Weird.
sent it to her yet.
All right.
I was waiting for you.
All right, let's do a little email after this meeting and
Okay.
I'll settle it out. Okay.
Okay.
Before we get to our items, I'd like to just I think, I hope most of you had the opportunity to sign in on the town hall on senior issues that Mayor Flagler conducted. And I just wanted to thank Mayor Flagler on behalf of the Senior Commission for just taking the initiative and doing that. It was just a well done and well-needed discussion. So thanks again, Mayor Flagler.
Thank you, Chair O'Reilly. And I was happy to do it, and it was well received. I have received several positive comments. So thank you for your support. And of course, thanks to Cherry and Bridget and everybody else who helped to put it together.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll move to the items for consideration. The first item is minutes. Again, I'll ask if we have anybody who has comments on this item, the minutes from the previous meeting. So,
I do.
Bridget,
You want me to share?
yeah, the meeting's up, Brit, the minutes up on the
Okay.
screen, please. So I trust everyone has had the opportunity to read through these, but
Kevin, I think Jane wants to make a comment.
Jane, Commissioner Cohen?
Thank you. On page number 2, on the top of page number 2, the first line, I'm not clear on what COVID-19 protocols open means. What are we meaning by the word open?
Let me read that sentence. I'll read the sentence prior to it. Then on March 1st, the subcommittee will share the updated work plan with the entire commission to see if they have any updates or changes that would be made.
Wait,
Unable to research recommendations until after COVID-19. Yes, that
Protocols open. Mhm.
I'm not
is
sure.
kind of a non sequitur.
I think we just need a wordsmith, another word. Loosen up or change.
Restrictions,
What was meant by that open? Do we know?
I
Probably means published. Published in the sense of made active.
One thing if I may, Chair O'Reilly, is that
Yes.
the minutes too are action minutes. So I think it's recorded of what was said. So I don't know if we're able to change, if it's more of action minutes. And Mayor Flagler, if I'm incorrect on that, please let me know. But I think we are just normally taking action minutes.
Bridget, that's correct. We don't do verbatim minutes. It's just things that we want to record or direction that was given or things that need to happen.
Right.
Okay, I have a couple of other things. Going down the list of the 4 goals, we have 6 goals, so I'm wondering why only 4 goals were itemized. In that same section, do you see?
So, yeah,
1, 2, 3, and 4, but we don't have goal 5 or goal 6 there.
Well,
I don't think we have to change anything now. I'm just pointing out a couple things. So it's just up to you. And the last thing, on the last page, the bolded item before adjournment, commission and staff reports, on the first paragraph, second line, it says March 1st, but I think it's meant to say April 1st.
oh. Where is that?
So under on the 3rd page, commission and staff reports, the second line flush left, it says March 1st, but I think we mean April 1st.
April.
That's when the reorganization is going to happen in April,
Oh,
correct?
okay.
All right,
That
now
is
let's strike the word next. Because this is the next meeting from that time. So the senior commission meeting on April 1 will feature reorganization of the senior commission. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's all, just the month to change
All
it.
right, that's good.
Okay.
Well,
That's all I have. That's all I have. Thank you.
thank you. So any other observations, corrections, modifications of the minutes from any of the members of the commission?
I move to approve.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I second the motion.
All in favor?
I
Aye. All opposed? The motion's carried, the minutes are approved. Now, if I can find my agenda again, there we go. Fiscal year 2021 work plan update. Right. So there was a cover note with the work plan, which you see on the screen. And this is just setting the parameters. We will meet with we'll have a joint meeting with the City Council in May, and our next meeting is in April. And at that time, we will have hopefully completed an agreed upon version of our work plan. So today's exercise is to go through our work plan project by project and make any adjustments or changes as needed. Does that make, is that a good way to proceed? Any other ideas about how to proceed with this? All right, let's, probably an easy way to do this is to have the people who are assigned, the commissioners who are assigned, lead the commentary on each particular goal and take it from there. So on goal number 1, vision to expand use of community centers by seniors, project 1.
Can you put the work plan on screen?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have done that.
Do you not see it?
Well,
Oh,
Bill's in London, that's a long way.
Yeah, I do have it up.
come on.
You just scroll down because it's, we still have the cover letter.
Oh, okay. Let's try this. Let me try that again. Okay. How about now?
Thank you, Bridget.
Okay.
So actually, I would, the two people who took the lead on project number 1 are Commissioner Nagao and Commissioner Cohen, and made some visits to our neighboring communities. So we have, the project is review other senior programs, neighboring communities. Where are we with that? Does that,
So I think this is Chris. I think that we agreed that we were going to wait till the end of the fall based on the fact that we're unable to go ahead personally communicate with the local similar agencies.
all right, Commissioner Cohen, you in accord with that? I think that's what I recall too.
Yes, we're on a hiatus from that. We pretty much got shut down when the pandemic struck and all the senior centers closed. So we have to reinitiate it, and we're gonna have to go back and redo because people are gonna change all kinds of stuff going forward, and it's gonna be fascinating to see the difference between what was and what's going to be coming in the future. So we want to learn from each other. So I would say the status, the current status is that the evaluation of 4 cities has paused or something like that, and will be reinitiated when, not the pandemic's over, but when facilities open or
when,
Right.
when conditions allow, I guess is,
Something like that, yeah.
Right.
Make it more accurate because we're not actually doing it right now, so it's not in process.
all right. So
So evaluation
it
of,
is paused and will be reinitiated when conditions allow.
yes, something like
All
that.
right, something up to
Does that make sense to you, Chris?
Yeah, well,
It does make sense to me because there really isn't anything we can do at this point.
well, all right. I think that, and that's probably going to apply to
Mm-hmm.
the
Other,
bulk of these priorities. Kind of, you know, in suspended animation in some ways. Project 2, O'Reilly, Nagao, and Cohen. And this was community engagement and work with city staff to prioritize programs and facility use to add, adjust, enhance. And most of this is the heavy lifting on this has all been done by our staff, our wonderful staff. All those great offerings and activities they put out there, very inventive. And
mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
I think that will be ongoing, and and again, that's going to shift and change as the conditions change.
Mm-hmm.
I am really impressed with the amount and appropriateness as I got the newsletter by email. You guys, the staff has done a fabulous job.
Really
I concur.
easily. They've really amazing. I didn't think that that many things could happen, but this is a great staff, and they've come through.
What is the attendance at this time of isolation?
We have to have some staff, maybe Sherry could respond to that, or is there a way to know yet?
Hi.
So-
At most of our events online, we have anywhere from 10 to 25 people.
That's great.
Yeah,
And now that we're doing cross advertisement, I know some of our contract instructors, we're letting the community know about them, and they are engaging in those as well, like the Greentown workshop that they're now engaging in that has, I'd say, Bridget, what did you say, 35 to 40 people?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone up even more. It's like 42. I
Mhm.
was just sending Gary his updated email or roster. It's like, I think it's, I don't have it right in front of me, but it's around 40 for Tuesday and Thursday. It's amazing for virtual. And then
Yeah. it
Sherry
is.
with her virtual has been getting really good attendance.
Yeah, with our
Very-
foreign affairs group, for instance, we have 35. So it's starting to grow even. And now with Ian on board with our cable programming, we have it where we can get more response. He's worked it into our cable programming so people will know to let us know how the shows are going. And we've been getting response from that too.
Okay, well, maybe the comment would be programs are growing and increasing in,
Yes.
okay, in attendance and participation.
Sarah O'Reilly, if I may.
Yes,
And I think one of the other things is there is the work plan subcommittee group. So the changes that are brought up today, we can always set a time to do another meeting to input those updates. And then we would share with the rest of the group as well.
okay. I'm just sort of taking some notes here and trying to
Yes.
get feedback. All right, at channel 15, somebody remind me where we are with that. I personally don't get channel 15 because I'm on another system.
Okay, so I can answer that. We are still going strong we just posted March's videos to the network, and we are I'd say we're targeting more fitness kinds of activity. So we just added Tai Chi to the format, and we have yoga. We have an intergenerational programming where we have youth who are coming in and showing us how to play ukulele. For this month, they're showing us how to bake from French recipes. So it's standing pretty strong and stable.
Great, great. That sounds great. All right, so goal 2, reestablish participation in and awareness of the Los Altos Hills senior programs. And these, my observation here is we're kind of on hold. We need to develop a good strategy and work with staff for the reopening of Grant and the opening of the new community center. But we haven't done much of that. So I'm not sure, should staff initiate that, or how can we get more involved in that particular process? Because I know that you all on staff are looking toward this and probably have some plans in the incipient stage.
Bridget?
Thank you.
Could we get some input from Ian about what he would imagine be useful on this? Because this is marketing.
Hello. Yes, in regards to, I talked to Cherry about some campaigns to reach out to the community using social media to get more submissions. I think that would be good. I've also wanted to bring up perhaps having an email that's dedicated to gathering submissions to make it easier for the TV and everything. That's what I think we could reach out to Andrew. I also think, Cherry talked about the scheduling, posting the schedules and stuff on the TV itself, I find would be very helpful. But honestly, I think if we have a more organized, I'm getting in contact with Josh to see what he wants from us to because we have either a half-hour time slot or an hour time slot. So I'm very interested into hearing what he has to say about that and how we can organize it a little bit more. Because I think if we're doing what he wants, we'll be able to play ball a little more.
So the opening of the new center is scheduled for summer, and that's about as close as we can get. June, July, I think that's just, I don't believe that's nailed down yet. Is that correct?
It is still to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
And as it changes, we'll definitely keep you all informed. But just because COVID being in the mix, it does give us a few unknowns.
Could I interject another thing about the community center and
Please.
something that I forgot about? Our meeting on Friday, we were talking about amenities that are outdoors will be more likely in the first phase of things we're going to be able to use. So a big part of that is the bocce ball courts and hopefully the playgrounds and stuff we're talking about. But at the time too, what we need really are more instructors and people who are willing to come and help with the opening of the community center.
Thank you. That makes great sense. Because,
I have a question.
question.
Yes.
Commissioner Cohn?
Under this project 2 that we're discussing, goal 2, can we separate out the reopening of the senior center at Grant Park and the opening of the new community center? Because I'm not sure that we have to tie them together completely, that Grant Park couldn't open if it's ready, if programming is ready and the pandemic is at such a stage that we feel comfortable with it. Couldn't Grant Park open sooner? That's my question to the group. or to the staff? I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's, most of the activities at Grant Park are indoors. In fact, all of them, as I.
That's true.
It's still TBD. I think, I apologize, Chair O'Reilly, is it okay that I comment?
Yes, please.
I apologize.
I'll have to watch for the hands.
Yeah, I'll go like that. And I think, you know, these dates that are here, they're target dates, but they may change. And that's just because of COVID. And with the senior part, you know, we want to be mindful of following all the protocols, but it's still to be determined.
Well, maybe we could rewrite, consider rewriting, and I'm thinking the subcommittee might
Mm-hmm.
be a good idea for us to meet between now and the next meeting in April
Definitely.
to nail down the language and some decisions about these to be brought back to the full commission. I think
If
that's
I may, Chair O'Reilly, if I may, do you want to share with the commission sort of what happened? Because we had the big overview of the work plan, but do you want to just share the comments and when we
from the
met?
subcommittee.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'll start that, and then hopefully Commissioner Golan and Commissioner Nagao will jump in here. We actually we looked through these and pretty much came to the conclusion. For instance, for transportation, that's been on hold. Last time I talked with Sherry Anderson about transportation use reimbursement, it's absolutely flat. In fact, zero use or next to nothing. And I don't expect that to change until the bigger picture shifts. So most of these are still on hold until things change as far as safety and the opening and allowance of interpersonal contact. Commissioner Cohen, you have any other suggestions or
Well, I did,
additions?
regarding the transportation goal number 3, I brought
Can
up,
we move the screen? Thanks.
Thank you.
I brought up the notion, since there's really no transportation happening, is there a possibility that we could use that to transport individuals to get their vaccines if it's in our catchment area? I just brought that up. So that was just one of the topics I brought up. I wasn't sure if we could or we couldn't.
Bridget?
It's my understanding, because it is a reimbursement program, so if the seniors that want to use the program, if they're following the guidelines that are shown on the flyer, they could, you know, use a Lyft or an Uber to the location. And we've had this particular ride reimbursement program available since COVID. It's just, I think because of COVID, there hasn't been, ironically though, I did get a call from someone today who was inquiring about it, but I don't know if Cherry's had any other phone calls, but they can utilize the program.
And I just want to, Chair, I just want to echo what Bridget is saying, that yes, or seniors can utilize or rideshare program to go to get their vaccine.
I guess the question is, can we promote that more than it is promoting now? It's kind of a passive program.
We should, because we want them to use, if what's stopping them from getting tested or getting the vaccine is transportation, we definitely want the word to get out that this service is available.
We can definitely do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, that's a good point.
Kevin,
Yes.
can I just make a comment? Because these vaccines are being given out of our area relative to the RIDE program. because I know that Mountain View's doing it. And the one at PAMF now, they're going to switch it over to the convention center. So I don't know if there's anything within that area outlined that will be covered the inoculations.
Well, we've expanded the range of it about a year ago to include Stanford University Hospital and PAMF on Mountain View, et cetera,
And
and Kaiser in Mountain View.
Yes.
And so by the same process, we could just list and ask for those to be included.
So did we list specific destinations, or when you say Mountain View, because I had my first shot done at the community center in Mountain View. Not that far, but
Yeah,
it's, and
well,
they did a good job.
you know, the problem is it's public money and it needs to be accounted for very, very strictly. And so we had to identify addresses. So we went through that whole process, El Camino Hospital, and then they have all these little locations around the hospital. So it's a little involved, like, driving around looking up numbers and what have you, but we included those, and I guess we could do that. It's possible, but it's a changing, they'll close one and open up another. Depending where you are, yes, as Commissioner Cohen.
I think it's up to us to be as flexible as we can be within limits. The idea that we could go to El Camino Hospital, but that we couldn't go to Mountain View Community Center, it's probably pretty equidistant apart. And plus they're closer than Stanford Health is. So I just think in this age when people are really struggling still to get vaccinations, any flexibility that we can bring into our goal, I think that we should.
Well,
Or
I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's that what's the thrust and what's the purpose of this whole thing comes up against auditors' needs and requirements. So maybe the way to do this, if we could do it, is do ex post facto. If somebody gets to a vaccination site and sends the request in, then we will approve it, determine it's a vaccination site, and approve it.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I'm not an auditor.
I agree, Chair, and you're right. For audit and legal purposes, we do need to identify the addresses for the transportation program. But having said that, like everything else, with COVID, certain things have been waived. And so if Bridget or Cherry could figure out, do we need to amend the documents describing the program just to make it broader, to say any and all vaccination sites within a certain distance fall within the parameters and the scope of the program? I think that we need to do that, but in the interim, I think it's exactly what the chair said. If someone goes to a vaccination site and they submit their receipt, I don't expect that will be rejected.
Great.
And just to answer what Council Liaison Mayor Flagger had said, the one thing I would need to do is just check back for approval, and just bringing the COVID part up. So that's something that I can follow up and look into. And we know that this discussion did come up a little bit during the work committee too.
I think those are great suggestions, and I'll follow up with you on this one, Bridget.
Okay.
And Sherry too, because Sherry's been my contact prior to that. All right. Goal 4, goal 5.
Goal 4.
Is health, fitness, and safety education.
Doris and I have not been able to do any of the kind of education, particularly the advanced directive workshops. In my role on the ethics committee of the County Medical Association, and I've joined the senior roundtable. I've been promoting ways to convince people to actually get their vaccines. It's astonishing, but in England here, 95% of people want to get vaccinated. In the United States, it's 67%. And of that 33%, 15% or 15 or 16% are no way. And the other fraction is going to be maybe. I'll see about it. I've written a paper that I've sent to various people on the strategy of convincing people about addressing their reasons for reluctance. And I think that in terms of overall health of the seniors, it's obvious to me that not only the elders need to be vaccinated, the people who care for them need to be vaccinated. And it is these people, whether they are paid or family members, who sometimes are hesitant. That's a specific thing that I've been doing kind of offline, if you will. But I don't know, is this something that we would engage as part of our mandate for the Los Altos Hills Senior Commission? And I open that up as a question for the members.
I don't know the percentage. In fact, that was one of my notes to myself before the meeting. I was wondering what the percentage of vaccinations in our senior community, and I don't know we have any way of finding that out.
I could find out.
Probably health department.
So Chair O'Reilly, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, Mayor.
And Commissioner, I don't want to butcher your last name, but I would love to see a copy of that report that you mentioned. But Chair O'Reilly, I can get that data from the county. I know they have data on the different cities within the county. I don't know if it's granular enough to know how many seniors, but I think they have a broad number on how many of our residents have been vaccinated. So let me follow up with the county and see what I can get, but it may not be as granular as I think you're hoping for.
Well, we appreciate any more information that might indicate where we could help. Thank you, Mayor Flagler. Let's see where. So essentially, Commissioner Buchholz, so these parts of these activities are still on hold and will be on hold until it's safe to hold them again. So the last one, goal 5 is maintain age-friendly city status. Commissioner Cohen, could you start us on this one?
Bill and I have not worked on this yet.
All right, to be done. Okay.
We have the criteria, but it isn't clear how to determine the metrics to measure these. Most of the age-friendly certification has to do with intention to do actions. And so I've looked at this and it's just not clear to me how we can actually investigate whether or not what we are doing, or at least planning to do, keeps us in compliance. Jane?
Commissioner Cohen?
I think that I agree with what Bill is saying. We do have the criteria. When Chris and I were looking at, when Commissioner Nagao and I were looking at the other cities and what they're doing, it came to my attention on the 2 cities that I was looking at, Mountain View and Sunnyvale, that one of them is completely engaged and compliant with the WHO requirements. And I forget which one was which. One was completely incompliant and one was well on the way to being compliant to the WHO and the age friendly. So there's models out there, but we just haven't had the time at this point to, dig into it. There has been some preliminary work done, but we have to access that and then look at the other cities, see where they're at and see how they went. Maybe we could
I see.
consult with one or the other, and then maybe that would help us get going. But right now, we really haven't made progress on it. I have
All right, well, that's it's to be determined
Yeah.
in progress.
Is that okay, Bill? Is that?
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. And then any more on that? All right, and goal 6, our recommendation from the subcommittee was to remove it or delete it for a number of reasons. Part of it is it went off my radar after I sent ZU and I had worked on it and sent in a number of changes, but they didn't respond. They couldn't be opened, and as we were looking at things, I think much of the information that has been that's present in the online guide is going to need to be redone when the community center opens, because that's going to determine a lot of programs will change, locations will change, and all that. So it has to be redone again in any case. And a lot of the work has been done. The other issue that Commissioner Cohen brought up is that the much more comprehensive list of resources throughout the entire county is a resource guide that the county maintains. So we had indicated and added that to all of the other resources when we rewrote these. But to try to replicate that whole set doesn't seem practical for us to do. But so we'll revisit this at some time future when the community center is open and we're out of this lockdown process we're in right now. All right,
Mr. O'Reilly?
any other comments?
Can I throw myself on the mercy of the court and claim fatigue at this point? It's after midnight for me.
Oh,
We still have a quorum, Bill, so you can be excused. We're going to wind it up pretty quickly anyway.
I'm already wound up. Thank you, guys.
All right, yeah, that's extraordinary to come in from London. Thank you. Stay well.
Thank you, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Bill.
I have another comment about goal 6.
Yes,
There's another amazing organization that keeps a very well delineated resource guide, and that's SourceWise.
that's what I was referring to. Yeah.
Both the county and SourceWise keeps, everything is so up to date. It's almost, I feel it's so redundant for us to try to do it. And it's like every 2 weeks, you're going to have to keep adding and adding. I think it's a repetition of services. And I think I really recommend that we delete goal 6.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it next month, but I really feel like we actually cannot keep up with the work. That's my feeling.
No, when people are looking for resources, they're not thinking about the boundary lines of Los Altos. They're looking at a community, a much larger community, because everything doesn't exist in Los Altos. And so to have a resource guide that's limited by boundary lines doesn't make sense. And I agree but SourceWise is clearly the best resource we have.
Yeah, and I mean, originally in our updated resource guide, we put SourceWise
Correct.
as well. And so, yeah, so I think that's a great suggestion.
The only ones that we really worked on was a transportation and reimbursement program, which is specific to us here in
Yeah.
Los Altos. And we spent a lot of time on that, but the rest of it, it doesn't make sense to do that. So, all right.
One more thing, Kevin.
Yes, Commissioner Cohen.
I think we should just make a note of it, and that is that, pending who the new commissioners are, the work assignments will change. So this is a living document that's
Yes.
constantly in motion.
Good point, very good point. We may reassign within the existing
Yeah.
commissioner
Depending
group.
on people's, what their interests are and, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Very good. So I would recommend that our subcommittee communicate with each other and set a meeting date. Maybe we could do that with the help of Bridget for one more meeting of the subcommittee prior to the next commission meeting.
Sarah Riley, I would be honored to do that. I'll reach out to you to the work plan committee, which is Chair O'Reilly, Commissioner Cohen, and Vice Chair Nagao. So I'll reach out to you all.
Thank you, Bridget. All right. Next
Sure.
item on the agenda, if I can find it again, is the commissioner reports, I guess is
Or I'm sorry, it's the staff report.
staff report. All right.
Or I'd be
Too much
happy
paper
to,
in front of me. Here we go.
I know. I'm going to share my screen and I'm doing the same thing. It looks like, I don't believe Sarah Robustelli is here. Can everyone see this?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'm just going to go quickly, and then if anybody has questions, feel free. So for Los Altos Hills, we've got spring and summer activity guide now available online with classes and activities. She's got the link there. Important contacts brochure printed in the March newsletter, and an interactive format available on the town's website. COVID testing appointment Monday, March 1st and Monday, April 5th from 9:30 to 4 at the Town Hall Council Chambers. 2021 inspirational banners. Parks and Recreation Committee invite you to submit your design by residents to inspire residents. Deadline March 8th. Submit your original design to Sarah Robustelli. Drive-through shred event scheduled for Saturday, March 20th from 8 to 11 at Town Hall, limited to Los Altos Hills residents. Hop and Hound at Home. When donating $10 or more to Pets in Need, participants will receive a kit with a bag of treats, donor dog bandana, Pets in Need face covering, and a chance to win one of 4 large gift baskets. Kits will be available for pick of the week, 3/29 through April 3 at Town Hall. To participate, donate $10 or more to the Hop and Hounds at Home event page. Essential documents for aging seniors is looking to take place on April 21st, which is a Wednesday, on 11:30 to 1. There's a bit.ly link located with a passcode and phone number. Planning senior care options is July 21st, Wednesday, and it's 11:30 to 1. Introduction to non-financial retirement planning, RSVP required, Los Altos Hills, California.gov. Spring 4/12, summer date 8/2. Day is Monday 11 to 11:30. Location is virtual and it's free. Be your own personal trainer, May 5th, which is a Tuesday, 2 to 2:30. Volunteering retirement secret sauce, spring date 4/20. It's a Tuesday, 10:30 to noon. Fee is $40, $35 for resident rate. And for the city of Los Altos, one thing I did want to mention is the reorganization of the senior commission chair and vice chair is going to take place on Monday, April 1st. So that's something that Chair O'Reilly mentioned a little bit earlier. So April 1st, during the senior commission meeting, there will be a reorganization. Chair and vice chair, the senior commission will nominate and vote on both commission seats. Just wanted to mention that. Spring registration will be taking place March 22nd. The spring session will be from April 19th through May 31st. So we will have more information on that. There will be a postcard that's going out to everyone. So keep your eyes peeled and you can always call us. There are The registration link is included here, along with the virtual recreation center link. This is also the link to the Adult 50 Plus Spotlight newsletter, so you can get all the upcoming happenings at the Adult 50 Plus program. Our 19th annual Egg Extravaganza. Los Altos Recreation and Community Services Department is re-imaging the 19th annual spring egg hunt. Decorate an egg and photograph them. Submit your creation to the bit.ly link mentioned here by Tuesday, March 23rd, Wednesday, March 31st to Wednesday, April 21st. You can view the virtual egg extravaganza creations. That's a bit of a tongue twister there. And also, we will be having a fun, interactive scavenger hunt that you can do from home. So please take a look at our website for more details. And it's intergenerational. Anybody can do it. We have the U.S. Masters Gardeners presentation, U.S. Masters Gardeners of Santa Clara County presentation on drought-resistant planting, Thursday, March 11th at 11. And the Senior Center is also doing a virtual scavenger hunt on Thursday, April 8th at 11. Cable TV Channel 15 March program with Tai Chi class, meditation, cooking class, youth performances, ukulele, violin, and piano. Then the COVID resource link. Parks, restrooms, and playgrounds will remain open. To stay updated with the latest information, please visit our city website. And then just to say more details about all of our programs and activities, such as the 50s adult program, please reach out to us. And that concludes the staff report. And
Well, thank you, Bridget.
why, thank you. Thank
Quite a
you.
bit of activity.
Try to stay busy.
Yeah.
Commissioner reports and comments. I don't know whether you've been, let's see, Commissioner Basigi and Commissioner Nagao were part of the Grant Park task force. Have they met at all, or is there anything to report out, or should we wait till?
No, we have not met. So still waiting for that invite for us to get together to discuss that.
All right, well, we'll possibly by next meeting, there'll be something to report. I'd be interested to hear what that is. Any other items any other thoughts here before we adjourn?
Chair O'Reilly,
Yes.
if I may, I
Yes.
just have on the agenda, we put 2 future agenda items.
Oh, yes, pardon me.
The first one is the reorganization of the Senior Commission, which I actually believe I want to say it's April 5th. It's always the first Monday of the month. So that's when we would be having the
April 5th.
reorganization. And then special joint meeting with City Council on May 4th. That's just another future item.
So the would be reorganization, and then possibly or probably the finalization of the 2021-22 work plan. So that would be the 2 main jobs of the next meeting, as far as I can see.
Oh,
Any other, Commissioner Cohn?
we might have a report, an update on the work plan to go on the agenda. Oh yeah, because we're gonna meet again, aren't we gonna?
Correct.
We might
Okay.
present it again at the April meeting, correct?
Report on the work plan, and then the finalization, agreement, adoption by the committee, by the commission.
Yeah.
That is our work plan. So,
So we'll add that.
all right, so we have the report, the finalization, and then the reorganization. That's good. I think we covered it. Have we? Any other?
No. Thank you so much.
Do we have a
I move
motion?
to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll
I
say
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks so much, folks.
Thanks,
Good night.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.